I'm Father Chris with Father Jimmy, and we have this wonderful relic that has been gifted to us, but I have a few questions for Father Jimmy. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for doing this, because I know some of this information is a bit technical, which I don't necessarily quite understand, but I'm so glad that you're here to help me. What is a relic?
A relic is a physical object that is associated with some mysteries of our faith or some saint. Most commonly, it is of a saint. So what does that mean? So the best way to explain that is to break it down to the different kinds of relic. We believe that there are three classes of relics. So a first class relic is a relic that is most usually a part of the saints themselves, a fragment of their bones or a piece of hair. It could also be, more commonly, a piece of the true cross. A second class relic is any object that has been used by the saint during their lifetime. So that could be some furnishing. It could be some object that they used quite a bit associated with their life of heroic virtue and martyrdom, such as a Bible or the means by which they were martyred. A third class relic is anything that has come into contact with a first class relic. So oftentimes it's a object of devotion, a rosary, a piece of cloth that is then touched to a first class relic in reverence, so that that same says that what that relic symbolizes and reminds us of can be carried with us all throughout our daily life.
That's pretty awesome. So, like, for example, that third class relic is something that just helps us, like a sacramental that allows us to keep the memory of that saint with us, so that we can perhaps mimic their, or not mimic, but to be inspired by their example of life.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool. Can you explain what we have here in front of us?
So a relic comes in these little container called a luna, meaning a little moon. And contained in this relic, when it is prepared, it talks about who the relic came from and from where. So right here it says ex capellis Carli Acutis, meaning from the head of Carlo Acutis. So what we have here is a piece of his hair. And so these luna sometimes and frequently are placed into these little stands called a reliquary. It's a way of displaying the relic so that it may be more readily venerated by the faithful.
Great. Okay, so now that we have this relic, and we know what a relic is, what do we do with the relics?
So the key word here is the word venerate. So in the Catholic Church, we talk about venerating the saints. Venerate not in the sense of worship, because worship is something that we only reserve for God alone. So venerate, in a way, is to honor, to lift up, and to pay respect, and to recall what it is that the relic draws us closer to, which is a saint themselves. And so veneration is an act of honoring and an act of remembrance.
And what are some gestures or actions that are associated with veneration?
A very common gesture of veneration is simply a bow. Sometimes people like to be close up with the relic. So a very common gesture is to simply touch the relic as a sign of experiencing the closeness with the saint. Some people like to express their closeness with a kiss. Sometimes just simply a moment of prayer and devotion
in front of the relic. That reminds me a lot of some of the actions that we do on Good Friday.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so it's a similar gesture and respect and honor. Oh,
yes.
That's pretty cool.